The storm raged as Evan strode briskly down Corbisky Avenue. He was enjoying it. Powerful thunderstorms were a frequent visitor to this part of Samstead. The wind, heavy rain, and lightning were exhilarating. Naturally, the weather didn't affect him at all because, like everyone else on Samstead, he was wearing a suit. He happened to be clad in a developmental engineer's duty suit, status semi-formal. Its internal stabilizers allowed him to stride without strain into a 70 kilometers per hour gale. Evaporators and dispersers kept his face visor clear. The thermosensitive weave kept him warm and dry. The light, flexible material was dyed dark green. Black stripes ran diagonally across his chest, left shoulder, and left leg. 2 bands of lighter green crossed his right shoulder. Evan was partial to subdued attire. The street was crowded with citizens rushing about their daily errands. Each wore a uniquely decorated suit, and none paid any attention to the near hurricane battering the city. Suits were comforting not only to those who wore them, but also to everyone else, since a suit reflected not only its wearer's personal taste, but also his or her profession, wealth, or private interests. Evan passed one woman who was having trouble controlling her offspring, who were fiddling with their stabilizers in order to float freely in the wind a meter above the pavement. He could hear her shouts clearly over the omnidirectional universal communicator. She was late for some kind of business lunch and didn't have time to indulge naughty children. Besides which, if they didn't settle down, behave, and walk properly, they were going to miss ballet class. That threat convinced the youngsters to reset their stabilizers. They dropped gently to the street and toddled along silently in their mother's wake, though every so often the boy would rise a couple of centimeters off the ground until a sharp backward glance from his mother would force him to return quickly to the pavement. Evan smiled at the byplay between mother and son, turned another corner, and found himself confronting a towering structure with a concave facade. He started through the central courtyard toward the imposing entrance. Over the doorway was the legend, "The Aurora Group," rendered in blue crystal. In the center of the open courtyard, and dominating it, was a 3-story-tall fountain in the shape of the company logo, 3 worlds forming a pyramid. The fountain played smoothly, despite the constant wind. The water was contained by carefully programmed hydrostatic charges. The door recognized him and let him through. As he entered the foyer, his suit automatically adjusted to the warmer temperature inside. At the touch of a button on his right wrist, his visor and hood folded back into the neck of his suit, forming a neat high collar of the style favored by British admirals of the 17th century. By the time the elevator deposited him on the 40th floor, the suit had dried itself and removed its own wrinkles.